Without podcast, we are here. We also, this is your boy Marquis. I am here with my co-host. She's back.
Yay!
Yes, we got the queen back.
Sizzle.
You know,
Yeah.
I want it. Okay.
I told you we gotta find something that works for fluently.
Okay.
We're gonna work on it.
We also, let's introduce your sister. We got the queen Reedisha in the building.
Reedisha, how you doing?
How you doing,
I'm
queen?
pretty good.
Man, y'all know who the fuck I am, man. It's the Food for Thought podcast. You lucky I was looking down at my phone. I wasn't paying attention.
That's true, y'all.
What's going on?
AKA LaTroy.
Once I missed that shit, that shit was funny as hell. That's the last podcast you was on too, I think.
Yeah, man. Yeah. They try to knock you down, but can't knock you out.
They can't knock. Hey, so Troy, I had text. I say, Queen, this man, if you need to get it together on your health, I'm like, that's first and foremost, that's most important. I'm not worried about the question. She said, hell no. They write out when they tell our story. I need me to be there.
I don't want to edit me out scenes and shit.
She's like, no, I want to be around
I don't want them to
everything.
be like, yeah, so you wasn't here for this part. Something major happened. It's like, you know how pissed I'm going to be in the Lifetime movie when they trying to play that? Like, I need Kiki Palmer to have lines. Like, I don't want to just be out there, like, just invisible. Like, you get one shout out, went a little bit to my head. Somebody else thought I was funny. I think I have a career in comedy after this. So,
a lot of people
Definitely.
definitely has hit me up and expressed their opinions on the podcast in a good way. You know, it's we got some haters, but we also got some.
right. I like the haters, though. We can
Oh,
talk
yeah,
more.
definitely we love
We
the
definitely need to have dedicate at least one
That's
podcast to that.
That's an audience right there. That has gonna have an audience.
I like the
I
haters.
love it though. I mean, we take all content. I mean, you know, all people on.
Fuck the haters, man.
Yeah,
Let's smack a spark out y'all. Fuck out of here before we rob you.
But
I'm already over here looking like I got somewhere to be to rob somebody with it in this getup. It's the only thing I can put on today. Okay, I don't want to be talking about robbing people. Okay,
but no, we glad you back on Queen. Definitely, man. We miss you.
miss y'all too,
That's the
brothers.
shit out of y'all.
Yeah.
Brothers.
You know?
So let's get right into it. I got a couple of little topics I want to speak on before we get into, in depth in the podcast. Y'all seen Lizzo?
Yeah, we seen her. Yeah, we seen that.
She is a hot. Well, no, she's there.
I just
She's
didn't.
there.
I expected that you wear a t-shirt with the ass cut out. You kind of expect some twerking at some point of the night.
She better.
Do you know about the t-shirt with the ass cut out? But you wanted the pants.
I wanted
You
the
wanted the pants.
Yeah, that was on
Some chaps.
I wanted the Prince pants.
Oh, Prince pants. He did have the booty cheeks cut out.
Cooloo.
God, he did.
Okay.
No, that was the episode we had. That was just on some funny shit. But no, so do y'all think it was inappropriate what she did? Y'all feel like it was inappropriate?
This is what she does with all her performances, though.
I think it was distasteful.
It was at it, but
It was distasteful at the time that she did it. Not that she
Right.
could never done it, but at that time, I wouldn't have did it all.
Yeah.
And I couldn't pay me nothing. Maybe. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But see, I feel like that's part of her image that she's had performances where her dancers have the ass cut out.
That's
But she
true.
wasn't performing though.
Well,
Technically,
when you're in Hollywood, you're always on stage. You always are under the public's eye, so you technically are always performing. So she did what she's having. I guess I'm expected of her. I've seen people do worse that aren't as famous as her.
Ooh,
In
shut
less impressive places.
Ooh. Yeah.
Got any video?
I can find it. I can just some
Hey, keep
links.
safe, man. But you know how I feel about me. Take that shit off. Bend over, let me see it.
So you like this?
You like Lizzo?
I mean, I'm like a woman. You know, I don't
All
care how
right.
she look, what she doing. I mean, look, if she
You don't care how
twerk,
she look or what she
what
doing?
she doing, hey, twerk that shit. I'ma look and take a
That's-
look at it, see
yes,
if I
that's-
like it.
that's lower.
That's long.
What?
So your standards getting lower.
They
since
get
I'm
lower
not.
since I left.
Oh,
You talking about
man,
you don't
see
care
the
what
thing-
she look like, what
What
she
she
doing.
doing?
At
See
first
the-
we have mouth standards. Now you don't care what she
Well, the
look
mouth
like.
is
what she-
always going. That's you
Right.
have to have a mouth. You know, and that's.
Well, if you don't have a mouth, I don't
You
think
ain't
you're
got a
You're
mouth.
living. I hope
Hey,
you're not.
you ain't got a mouth.
you're a fucking species.
Existing.
But
That's
no,
it.
I think it was kind of crazy. Like, you know, I don't know if she like, I don't know what was the point of it though. Like, I heard something about her twerking for a basketball player or some shit like that.
She
They
was
said
working
she
to
saw
somebody
that she
said
liked-
rebound. I don't know.
Yeah, like she said she
They
saw
scored.
somebody she liked and she just started.
It was at halftime, I believe, though. So I think they just. Oh, I don't know if it was a halftime or doing timeout, whatever the case is. I know the cheerleaders and stuff was on the floor at the time, and then they show, you know how they show on the screen, the celebrity. She just got.
Oh, she just went crazy. She
I
wanted
mean,
everybody.
she
to
was
see.
twerk.
Oh, okay, well she thought that was her moment then.
And she would live her best life while she can.
Shit.
She would live her.
I'm not shocked, I guess. I'm just like, okay. I mean, she had on a t-shirt
That's
with the
true.
ass cut out.
I thought she had on the thong.
Both.
Both, but
B-O-F-F.
the ass part was specifically cut out where you could see the
Wow.
bone.
It was.
Think
like,
about putting on a long t-shirt, then specifically cutting out the ass part. You advertising. Your
Yes.
ass advertising it.
That's true.
I don't see what else they let her in.
Troy ain't like that shit. though.
They
He
let
like
her in.
t-shirts with the ass.
Right. It's business in the front and a party in the back. It's like a mullet.
No, babe.
Oh, I'm so happy she back.
It's like a mullet.
I hate
Oh,
mullets.
shit.
I hate
It's
mullets.
like a surprise. It's like those pajamas where the ass part
You just
specifically
stick 'em
unbuttoned. It's like that, but she
You can go do what you want to do.
exactly.
So it was inappropriate. I feel like it was inappropriate.
I don't think it was it's Lizzo. I mean that's part of the story of Lizzo. Like she shakes her ass all the
That's
time.
part of her act. Shit.
That's
That's
part of
true.
the act. Like I'm not
What
surprised.
she's selling
with
from.
it.
Yeah.
It ain't like Oprah did
And then
it.
she just get on and some shit like that. Like, what
Not
she
too
like
long ago,
from
yeah.
Right, with the little whistle.
hip hop Atlanta wives.
But you know, people was fat shaming her for doing it, and
Yeah.
That's
You
another
know.
thing. I don't like
I
people
think that's
fat
sucker shit though.
yeah.
Like, you know, it don't matter what size a woman is. I mean, I don't like that shit like that. You know,
All
like
right.
a
Raise
woman
those
is
standards
a
back
woman.
up.
If she treats you good, fuck with her.
And she
It
cooked.
don't
She
matter
got a mouth.
She cooked. She got a mouth.
Okay.
2 hands.
Okay, that's my guy.
Smack it on
There's
the
my
face.
guy. There's
Oh,
my
good,
guy.
man.
There's my guy.
Yeah, I ain't like that shit though. How they was trying to fat shame her though. That was some nut shit to me.
I don't know if it was fat shaming for some. I think it's because of what she did.
Yeah.
But some people were fat shaming her. Some people were not. I, on the hand, no, I wouldn't fat shame her. But I think it was a trick for what she did that. Not that she couldn't do it at all. I just think the timing of it. That's
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
More so than anything, the timing.
But they say it's been celebrities that done had their ass out of the game.
Janet Super
before.
Bowl, bam.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I mean, I think, like I said, like Sade said, it's just a part of the act, man. Like, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
that's just how she felt that was a moment for her to, you know,
She
promote
did.
herself.
And look, we all talking about it.
Right.
Mission accomplished.
Hey, she got some. Hey,
And
she got something from
She
it.
went on
People
Facebook,
that
fake
twerk for
cried and
less.
shit, and told y'all to kiss her ass. And we talking about it now, so it's
Yes,
good marketing.
yeah.
Shit.
Exactly.
Hey, works
So-
well.
Now everybody has to get a t-shirt and cut the ass out.
Yes.
The new
You
standard.
know, to make sure you cut out the right way.
If
But
it-
for Marquis, we're gonna do the pants.
Yeah, give me the pants, the French pants. Okay, moving.
Cool style.
Hey, moving on. I want to talk about the Juice World thing. I know we spoke about it a little last week. Me and Troy did. But you know, some more information came out involving that situation throughout this week. You know, saying he OD'd on
Percocets, different.
pills. Because of my assumption, he panicked. I feel like they
it sounds like
yeah,
that
it's
might
panic. You know, they caused some. You know, they say they was already on to him. So when he landed, they was already, had the heads up on him. So they say they had like 70 pounds of weed on them, and
allegedly.
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 You know, the pills and the guns and whatever. They said the guns was registered though. So, but
because the weed ain't gonna get you in that much trouble.
Yeah, I mean more importantly though, the whole premise of this was the opioid thing though. That you know, our generation has feel like is definitely been like in an opioid epidemic as far as like, you know, say just not even in rap, just period, because I do feel like rap 20% of it is definitely the reason why a lot of our teens or children do what they what it is that pop pills, but more so the mental health thing too. I feel like, and also even in your situation, Quinn, when you telling for you to get back to where healthy, they put you on pills. This is the first thing they do. You know what I'm saying? Even whether it's like Troy, you had the back spasm, whatever the case is. We're gonna prescribe you some strong ass medicine. You get hooked to it, you be like, this shit got me feeling.
Yeah, you don't want to necessarily feel pain. Anybody that's ever been in severe pain, the only thing you can think about, how do I make this shit stop? How do I stop feeling like this got to be death? Like, how do you stop that feeling? So that's how a lot of times people do get addicted to pain killers. And then sometimes, like, you ask, I literally was in the hospital, like, they gave me something in my IV. I'm like, what's the street name for this shit?
I think I seen you post that.
Like, what's the street name for this shit? Because this is a different kind of calmness. And the crazy part is it didn't last long. Oh. You know what I'm saying? So then you'd be right back in pain, which helps fuel an addiction when you're trying to fight pain.
Because now you feel like you steadily
you're trying to counteract that. Because now your body just lost this pain threshold. So now you're just like, how do I get relief? So that's an issue. Then with the culture, you got to forget that a lot of people are more susceptible to ideas than others. Some people don't get enough of the good stuff about far as being influenced by something. They get a lot of just the negative side. They don't have someone there to like explain it. Right. Like you could, Future's rapping about Molly and Percocets, but he don't take them. Allegedly. Right. So, allegedly. So you gotta, if you're a young kid, nobody tells you like, hey, he's an artist. This is part of a persona that he portrays in order to sell music. You can still be who you are, and you don't have to actually do that, because I think it was saying Juice WRLD said he was listening to Future or something like that, and that's influenced him, so if he didn't have somebody there to kind of explain, like, this is music, this is art, right, his mind is accessible, and then also, like you said, with mental health, a lot of people don't even know what's wrong. They don't know how to deal with anxiety. They know how to deal with the symptoms of anxiety, which I'm anxious, my mind's racing, I'm out of order. They know how to deal with the symptoms of it, but do you know how to deal with anxiety in the first place? Right. So how do you deal with that? Some people, you smoke,
what causes it?
They'll pop pills. That's to deal with the symptoms of it, but it's a suppressant,
that's
right?
all it is.
But it's still there, and so if you don't have somebody else to guide you through that or speak about it, sometimes people just need somebody they can fucking relate to. Like, hey, have you been through this too? Oh wow, it feels that much better when you can talk to somebody who's been through a similar situation that you've been in, because then it gives you relief, like, oh, I'm not the only person who fucking felt like that, or I'm not the only person who just felt like I needed to do something to get my rocks, or whatever your case, whatever your anxiety may be. So he didn't have that, and I do think, like you said, I do think he panicked, because I think if you've ever been high, sometimes a good high, sometimes you can have a sense of paranoia. You know what I'm saying? You could think people are after you. Yeah. You could think you're getting kidnapped.
Yeah, I experienced it.
I've never been there. So
I mean, you can have you can have something can trigger you.
I had to
you can have paranoia.
Nah,
I think maybe you was smoking some other shit. Okay, you ain't necessarily got to do no angel dust.
I ain't never told nobody this, bro. But like when I was working at LA Fitness, it was my 21st birthday, and they was like taking me down to like something called Adriana's or some shit like that. And I don't do clubs and no shit like that, so I didn't want to go, and I think I smoked like a little bit of dro or some shit.
Oh, right? He took it back. He said dro.
Like, yeah,
they
it was
don't call it that no more.
They don't.
But that was my first time like ever like trying. And man, I thought they was setting me up to kidnap me, and then there was this big motherfucker that used to work there named Demetrius. And he worked at the club. That's it fucked me up because I'm like, this big motherfucker got a name like Demetrius. That's a hood ass name. You know what I'm saying? He was a big motherfucker though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then he worked at the club and shit. And we driving there, we having a good time, and I tell her, I say, man, take me home, man.
You was that paranoid?
I was like, I just couldn't fuck, but that's why I don't deal with it because it really fucks with me.
Like, well, see, that's why I said everybody. It ain't for everybody.
No.
Some people are more susceptible to things than others. Some people can do a line of coke and go to work. I don't know how they do that. I would never personally do that, but some people can do. They're functioning addicts, which is actually functioning through your anxiety and how you decide to cope with them. Yeah,
some people might be.
I used to work at one corporate job. I had people were getting bumps in the restroom. I couldn't believe it. You just see it's a little powdery in here. So they changed the baby in here. Is there a baby?
Nope.
I don't think anybody had a baby today.
I think it was even for me when I was going through when I had a sciatic nerve. That shit was so painful. Like a doctor prescribed me a muscle relaxer, and I was taking them. And I was taking them consistently. I took them a couple of times, but the way it had me feeling, it had me walking around like a zombie.
Like a zombie.
And I'm like, this is not me. I couldn't I was just really groggy and
the way you just look up at the sky
it was just real slow pace. I was just stare out like how a dog turn his head and shit. Like it just didn't have me in the right mental state, and I was like, this shit is. I can't do this shit.
I found myself, when I was sick, after I got over my cold, I found myself taking cough syrup to go to sleep. Mm-hmm. And I found that really strange. I drank the whole fucking bottle.
Oh,
damn.
It was crazy.
I lean.
Like, seriously, but that shit put me right to sleep. Sometimes my mind, sometimes my mind be just going that night. Like yesterday, I got no sleep. Woke up. I didn't get no sleep, so I didn't wake up. But I was up, had to go to work, got done at 10 still. But sometimes my mind just be going at night.
Need some melatonin.
And that shit,
it can work, but it doesn't always work. At least
not
for me, does it? No. Plus, I have MS. Mm-hmm. I do have Flexeril, like the muscle relaxers, but majority of the time, I take no pain medications because I just I don't care about it. It doesn't. I don't feel pain like that. Either I ignore it. I just don't want to say because I don't want addiction. Right. So it's just hard. I don't know how to come back from that, so I don't start thinking I don't want to finish.
Yeah, and I think I think once you get in that and go down that rabbit hole, it's so hard to get out of that shit. Like you even talked about, previously about your friend that was on doing drugs. Yeah, like. And then us just learning about drugs. I learned about drugs, and I think it was in 8th grade. Like, as far as like some drugs are depressants and some are like heroin. It gives you just be like, this motherfucker.
And it's sad, bro. Yeah. It's really like, and that's why I always stayed away from certain things. When I was coming up because I just saw how people were on that shit, bro, and people ask me to this day, you ain't never tried weed, you only smoke weed one time, and it just certain shit I saw.
Never did a blunt neither, bro.
Certain shit that I saw, I just I don't want to be like that, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I felt like weed made motherfuckers angry coming up in the projects because all you was
angry.
Well, they wasn't just doing weed though.
Right.
They had some bad dogs.
I never seen a motherfucker hitting no weed and be angry.
Right. They be hungry.
But I'm saying I don't know that.
It's literally
I'm a shorty and I'm I'm seeing this shit and I'm like, but that's why I always stayed away from it, man. Yeah. So. Everybody got but it is a sad situation because I was telling you, I was like, because I used to listen to the dude's song on WGCI.
Oh yeah.
It's like Lucid Dreams or some shit like that, and it's just fucked up because I feel like that's how he went out. That whole little song is that's kind of crazy.
Everything went just
you know what I mean? That shit was.
Crazy that words.
Man, bro,
he
that
had
shit
a
to
song
exist.
that said he wasn't gonna live past 21.
It's crazy, man. It just And it makes me think about like a lot of these artists, like Kevin Gates always say, "I'ma die." He always say that shit in his songs for some reason. I don't know why, but he say, "I'ma die." And it's like, motherfuckers need to stop speaking that shit into existence, man, because that shit's sad, bro. Dude was 21, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He panicked because, first of all, he ain't got no experience like that. He probably ain't really been on no planes like that, you know, in his life. So, you know, he got a whole new lifestyle. So he thinking his whole life about to change over some weed. And then you look at all these different artists that's going through these things, 6ix9ine, all these motherfucking crazy ass people going to jail over crazy shit. And it just, you know, these young motherfuckers, bro, they a little fucked up too, though. You know, they got a lot going on with them. And they very impressionable, bro. Like these dudes, like they do what the fuck they see. And you know, we ain't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
it's
just
choice.
It's crazy, bro. Like I be looking at these dudes, man, and it's just the same shit every time.
The pattern of crazy.
It's like it's
so. I mean, what's the as us as OGs in a way, so to speak. What's the advice to the youth though? I mean, at some point it gotta get to a point where we can, you know, lend a hand and let them know. Like I said, I've never did any of that, but it's like I always had people around me that was just like, hey, this ain't you. You know what I'm saying? Let this be me. And then I know what lane you're in. This is not it. You know what I'm saying? Like older uncles and shit. Like, well, you know, it was always like that. You know.
Well, the one thing you have to acknowledge that we went through a whole situation in the 90s when people was actually just going to jail. That took a lot of families, a lot of business.
Yeah.
Okay, and you got to remember that these people had kids. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Who were without fathers, who were in communities that were once populated, even though they may not have been black men do the most positive things. They were still strong black men in the community. They were wiped out. They were put in jail for years on counts of charges that were ridiculous thanks to the war on drugs, which took a lot of male influence off of the street. Then you have these kids growing up and either being fatherless or being struggled by losing their parents, who eventually went to have children, who when they were fairly young, and those children had to raise themselves and sometimes try to have it's a lot of parents like now they say like the grandma 40. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Your great grandma 40.
Your great grandma 52. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just it's that type of academic because it was so many limited amount of males to look up to. So you have people who literally were growing up raising themselves, or the only example they had wasn't the best example. So then you have that's a whole generation of mistakes we have to come back for. That's why the ages that they are, sometimes we look at them like, damn, they're not that far from us. You know, these are the kids that was born in 96. You know what I'm saying? 90, 97, 90, 95. Like, they're fairly not that far removed from when we were born. Yet it just seems like a completely different understanding of how they tackle life, anxiety, drugs. Just seem like it's a bigger struggle. Why? I feel like because there's a whole generation of people that were missing that could have been more encouraging, or could have been better figures, or maybe gave some, hey, I'm making these mistakes. You do this. Don't do what I'm doing. Kind of situation that they just didn't have. They had a lot of people that were fiending from themselves off of a situation where that person prior had to fiend for themselves because the examples that they have were removed. So I'm just saying.
Yeah. I think that we got to get to a point, because it's one thing to say what we can do, but we got to be a little bit more active. And I'm big on that, like talking to young boys and trying to see where they head at. Like, it's a kid, you know, I go to the gas station, give me a coffee, you know, it's a Dunkin' Donuts, and then, you know, it's dude, 24 years old, you know, and sometimes I always, like, you know, I be telling Sam, like, man, you know, just talk to him. You know what I'm saying? Just say something to him. Don't just say, nah, I ain't got shit for you, or walk past a motherfucker, you know, like, because I remember being in that space where I had to live in my car, and I felt like I didn't have anybody, or I couldn't really turn to anybody, you know, so I always put it like on myself to just try to have a conversation with these kids, and a lot of them just be simple shit like lace weed, and they can't knock it, and, you know, it just be simple shit, you know, and And sometimes I feel like we just gotta stop. We gotta be a little bit more active, and we gotta holler at these kids sometimes. This kid, 24 years old, he ain't got no felonies, no shit. But he looked like an old ass drunk in front of a motherfucking gas station. And I asked him, I said, man, you wanna work? My job, they hire, you know what I'm saying? All you need is a driver's license. I said, look, if you get yourself together, and whenever you ready, I'll take you up there. I'll pay for it. Get your driver's license.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go with you, and we can get it together. You can drive my car. You know what I'm saying? And he said, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? And he said, I'm gonna let you know when I'm ready. Right now I ain't ready, but I'm gonna let you know when I'm ready. And I think we just gotta get it like in us to really just start talking to these kids.
Yeah.
And sometimes I ain't gonna lie, I can be kind of fearful because a lot of these young motherfuckers, they nuts, bro. They gone.
Yeah.
So you can't really. It's like you can't really have a conversation with these kids because they stuck in their own ways.
They so
and
angry.
They think they angry and they think they fucking grown and they think they know some shit.
They have
really
to though. They
it.
have to experience like the way they have to experience, and their experiences are not ours. They're not. They're not our experiences.
I agree.
They're not our experiences.
I think a lot of the reason why they're angry too though is because it just brings it back to what Sade was saying. Some of them probably be fatherless.
Yeah.
Having some motherfuckers just wake up, just without no direction. It's just like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when you get to that point, it's like you said, I who do I run to? Who can I talk to?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think Pac said it for, like the best. Like everybody need help being self-reliable at some point.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think, like you said, we do need to, just talk to these kids, man, and let our youth know that we're here for them, and just open, just be, in open arms with.
Try to open the door for him, because like Sam, he responded more like, you can't help everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't help everybody. And I'm like, why not?
Maybe it depends on the way you help them, man. The way you help them.
But then some people, their battles are
different,
true to their own, because some people are dealing with like grief.
Mm-hmm.
If you're grieving, one thing I can say in the black community is just saying, like, once the funeral was passed, it's hard for you to continue grieving for somebody. Like that's supposed to be like your goodbye, and nobody helps you grieve through that. So you have some people who have PTSD through a traumatic death after death in their family, and then they're angry about it because they have that grief. Who can I talk to? How do you? And then the thing is, grief is actually it's actually built to individual person how you deal with it. Some people, they cry to get it out. Some people, they just get out drip by slow, drip by drip by drip. It just depends on it. So if you're grieving something, whether it be the loss of a family member or the loss of a financial stability you had in your home or the loss of, somebody that was important to you, it's hard to deal with that. And that's how people get angry sometimes. I don't know how to deal with my emotions. A lot of times, the one way I can protect myself is through anger, because then you can't fuck with me, because then I can protect myself. And then in that case, if I'm on the defense versus being offensive, and I feel like you can get to me. So it's kind of hard when you have a whole community of people that are grieving. Like how do you solve grief?
Time, I would assume, but there is no time that you can put a limit on it.
With opioids.
That is true.
Yeah.
That makes them happy.
Yeah, because I be in some of these stores, man, and I be looking at some of these cats, bro. It's like, it just seems like motherfuckers always trying to, gotta try to hide something to prove, too. It be crazy, because I be, looking at the, what the fuck is wrong with y'all, bro? What's the problem?
Everybody tough.
Mm-hmm. Everybody want to prove that they the big guy or they the big dog on the block or some shit. And it's like, bro, that shit don't mean nothing to me. I'm finna put up these chips and get the fuck up out of here. You know what I'm saying? But it's like it's just so crazy. I had to literally tell a motherfucker, he say, man, I got a Foot Locker card for sale. I said, we don't carry cash on the truck. He tell me, you see how quick he has some other guys behind him. You see how quick he gonna hide behind that shit? I said, look, brother, let's just keep this shit civilized, because ain't nobody scared. You know what I'm saying? I'm just letting you know so you won't think I'm trying to treat you like you're a fucking nut and walk off on you and say fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Because I could have done that, but it just fucked up out here, man. But I always try to reach out to the young boys and try to talk to them and really just give them, and I really hope, dude, say like, cause I see him every day. I always say, hey bro, I'm ready. And I told her, I said, I'll take you down and I'll pay for it. Just come on, man. You ain't got no fucking excuses. I mean, yeah, you probably going through a little something right now, but at the end of the day, you can get up.
Yeah.
You know, it's always a choice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
Definitely.
just try. It might change your life.
No, you're right. I mean, I do feel like I think that's the best advice we can give them is that we're here and we're receptive to what's going on, and we're not gonna deny them for the person that the world chooses them to be.
Sometimes you gotta take a motherfucker with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like if you get a job, if you got a good job, and I'm not saying you can't put your name on, with everybody, but if you ain't bringing at least three or four motherfuckers with you that are solid individuals and that that you can count on, you crazy. White folk do it all the time. They got each other back. Yeah. You gotta take somebody with you, bro. It ain't always about you.
No, you're right.
And I believe that, and I stand on that. It ain't always about you.
Let's just shout out to Troy. He just said white folk right now. He didn't get that.
Oh man.
Southern draw. Us white folk do it all the time.
He was just a little country with it. And I like a little bit.
That's how my grandfather said.
Never knew.
So let's get into it.
What? I'm sorry, I got distracted.
What happened?
Banjo started playing after he said white folk.
Banjo. Oh, I got the dance in the circle.
Right. Overalls. Barefooted.
Try it.
And the strong smell.
Queen, we're gonna get into your segment.
Oh yeah, y'all ready to get a little sentimental? I'll let y'all be hard for a couple of weeks. Now it's time to go back to our feelings. Time to get soft. Flaccid.
So I let y'all be hard for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
No more.
Yeah, I'm about to read
No more Viagra.
No more.
You hear me? Because these pretty good.
Yeah, do your thing, man.
Right. Okay.
Really calm.
We'll pass them. My arm will go up.
Hey, John, let me help you.
No, I don't need help.
I'm gonna try to help you out.
You need sentimental.
All right. This is the way we get sentimental. I can't be sentimental open up. Alright. I'm
No.
gonna stay in my place.
Thank you. So,
He'll send you a 10 spot or some shit.
yeah. So, I guess the question this week for y'all while we get sentimental is, do you believe in soulmates? And if you do you believe it's only one soulmate? Or can you have multiple soulmates? There are over 3 billion people
In the world, yeah?
in this planet.
3 billion pussies.
No, not all of them not that way.
Yours ain't shit.
Sure.
No,
Some
I'm
are
just
changing.
playing. I'm just playing.
Some are changing
I'm just playing.
into
y'all.
that.
I'm just playing.
Go ahead. Somebody want to jump in on that?
Anybody?
I think, like, people change though, man. Like, people, you never stay the same. And I think you can have moments with people. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, but do you believe in soulmates?
I'm trying to get to it.
Okay.
I think that
There you
people.
You
I'm
said
gonna give it
mates.
to you.
Put a
I'm gonna
proof
give
in
it to you how I want to
single.
give
I
it to
know
you.
you finna go.
I think people change, and I don't. No, I don't.
He's like, no, I don't think people change.
Thank you.
We got-
Thank
we
you
got
for
a few
that
people
stunning
watching. I
intro
don't
that
know
lead
what
us straight
I'm
to
saying, but
nowhere.
I just think people change, man. They never stay the same.
So because people change, you feel like they can't have a soulmate?
I think.
Or do they
because
do?
I think people.
Well,
Yes, they can't because people go through different changes in life.
so what's
where
your
they not
definition
happy.
of a soulmate? What do you think would be a requirement for you to say these are soulmates?
I don't have a definition of it because I don't believe in it. I don't.
Okay.
I think that people have moments, and if you're strong enough to hold on to that, then it is what it is. But I'm not gonna say like this whole fucking soulmate thing. Like I don't know.
Okay.
That's just a little.
I know her.
I just think that's some fairy tale shit. Like the white boy and the white girl, he always ride.
Why you gotta be white?
You know, he ride off. You know how
You
white
just
folk.
said that earlier.
No, you know how white folk. They
White folk again.
No, I'm just saying. They always in the movies, and then the motherfucking white boy with the horse always kiss the girl at the end and ride off in the sunset. And shit like that.
I kind of feel him on that though.
So,
to some degree,
you know,
I really do.
I
You
think
go
that shit
cookie
be-
crumb.
I think, but no, listen.
out.
I just think it. But hold on, I think it's, I think that
shit.
shit be kind of like fairy tale, like you know what I'm saying.
It's written.
It's cool, like you know, it's cool to love somebody and have a strong connection with them. But I think that it's a such thing as like having connections and moments and actually being strong enough to get through it. But that whole soulmate thing, you were designed for me and all that shit.
Sounds like you don't believe in love, Trey.
I believe in. I believe that you
That's
can
soulmates
love.
he don't believe in.
I believe
He
in-
say he believe in love.
I believe that you can love somebody like a lot. Like you know what I'm saying.
That's it.
But I think that my experiences, you know, are different from other people. So it's like
We know because you had a
I've
hard
never
time growing up.
absolutely, and I've never really had like I've always been in relationships where I've seen that change. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's with me, but if I change, it's because it's a cause. It's something happened for me to change.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I've always seen like I ain't never really ran into nobody that was consistent.
So maybe you just haven't met your soulmate.
Fuck all that.
But what I'm
You know what I'm
saying,
saying?
if you can believe in love, then you can believe in magic.
I don't believe it.
If you can believe in love, you can believe in magic. Let me just walk with me. Walk with me. Take a sip and walk with me.
Magic.
If you can believe in love, you can believe in magic because you can't touch it. You can only see it for what it is, what's in front of you, how you experience it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then with magic, you want to believe that what you're seeing is real. Right? That's all about the I said the hand is quicker than the eye. Like you want to believe that this display of whether it be love or affection that
What about
is
a
real.
feeling that you get?
Is it temporal or permanent?
Well, magic makes you feel good when you're watching it, right? And don't it feel good when somebody's loving on you, and in the moment they take it away, you just like,
Well, I feel like ain't magic entertaining?
love is too. Because if you're not into what somebody's giving you, how like
Receptive.
if it's not stimulating you, a lot of times people don't call themselves being in love. If you're not stimulating me, whether it be emotionally, mentally, physically, then it's like I'm done with you because this is no longer benefiting my neurons, my things I need to be receptive of.
Mm-hmm.
If the magic show is boring, you can get the fuck up and walk out. Like this shit is lame.
I
I don't care about this rabbit, this weak ass rabbit you popping out the hat. I can see the string, like the jig is up. You're gonna walk out the show. Same thing with love. They're not giving you the stimulations that you need to be inspired to keep going down that trap. Well, I don't call it a trap, but go down that road.
The consistent road, possibly, but it depends on what the road.
Which is why
is.
Troy doesn't believe in soulmates because
It depends on what. Obviously, this road's been rocky. He just
Very
been happy. He don't like it.
Well, it's not like it's
Your
just,
feelings.
It's not. I just
let
don't,
Troy let it out.
No, I just don't. I don't get caught up in all that shit. You know, like I'm not fit to be. I don't allow I'm not gonna
I
reveal.
don't allow myself to feel.
No, like I
Feel what though?
It's so hard for me for people to know me because I don't reveal myself like that.
Yeah,
Protective.
You know, like I'm not fit to play this whole, lovey-dovey game with you. Because I might get to a point where I'll be like, fuck that shit. You know,
So
I don't
you
really
to
wanna
change.
feel that shit.
So okay, so what you saying, what you just said, because I
Talk to me.
but I said I'm
Talk to me, kids.
you know, you speak on that all the time. You not revealing yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Ooh, I got something to say to that.
with you not revealing yourself, like you just said, you not being vulnerable and transparent with others. How does that even give you? How could you say, "Oh, I don't believe in soulmates if you haven't even gone down that road to even open up to.
Well,
you know,
because like I say, I think a soulmate per se, that's like fairy tale type shit. That's the white boy with the white girl riding off in the sunset. For me,
with the white
I believe,
and the sunset and the horse.
Black people like sunlight.
I believe in connections. I believe in connections. I believe in, you know, things for the moment. But I also believe that people change. They never stay the same.
It's so bleak with him.
It's all changed, man.
It's so bleak with him. So what about you, Reedisha? Because Troy is on the opposite end of the spectrum. Like, fuck soulmates. Damn near fuck love if they don't come with now. So, what's your take on it?
My take of soulmates, it can be possible, providing that you and that person are working together. But if not, then no, it's just moments that you're having. That's it. Those moments can keep going, but it's up to you to stop them, keep them going to stop them at any given point in life. So
soulmates are conditional.
They can be. It's choice. Mm-hmm. On both halves. Not one, but I'm thinking on both halves. Okay, so I guess the question to you would be is, what is your ideology of soulmates then? Like, because if you're saying that they could exist, then what is the criteria? Criteria?
Yeah.
I think is we meet and we agree on not everything, but on enough stuff. We see, we try to. If not, then we're going to try to make it work. Whatever it is. Because nobody is 100% on everything with anything.
True.
Nobody is on everything. So, let's say me and my soulmate, somebody I thought was my soulmate, I'm dating somebody. And him and I don't work out, then I don't feel like that person's my soulmate anymore because I'm not with that person anymore. I move on. But if I'm still with them and we're working on the same accord, then yeah. But if not, then no. So just somebody I'm dating.
So then, if you lose that soulmate, can you get another one? Do you believe in
Who said soulmates? Who said that person may have never been my soulmate?
So then you believe in only one soulmate?
I believe if you feel that way, then yes, and that's every individual. Do I believe there's such thing as one soulmate?
So wait, so somebody could think that you're their soulmate, but you won't think the same about them?
They may not feel that way. It is very well possible.
Cold-blooded.
That's called life.
You love me just too much.
Remember,
I love you a little.
It's funny. Like, so you ever told somebody or felt like you love somebody more? You love somebody more than they love you, or you love them more than they love you. Either way,
I think that can happen during the course of a relationship.
That's how I always get my heart broken. I love too much.
If that's the case, then how can you? When do you feel that the person is your soulmate, or you still feel like the very end or the beginning or the middle?
Well, I would think if you give somebody a title like that, you don't just take it away because you upset them. You upset me. No longer soulmate. You go there. Bag.
That red flag.
Right.
That motherfucker
you pulling the linen off the table.
Yeah.
I think it's all choice. It's all what you want. If you don't want it, it's not yours. If you do want it, it is. If I'm giving it to you, take it. If not, it ain't yours.
So you're a conditional soulmate. So you like in the middle. Okay. All right. We got no soulmates ever in fucking life over there. Then we got the middle. So what about you, Keith? What do you feel like? Do you believe in soulmates?
I do.
Okay, what would be the criteria for someone to be considered?
Of course he does.
What would be a criteria?
My criteria of soulmates, I feel like it had to be chemistry, it had to be transparency, it has to be. I feel like the connection definitely has to be there as far as, like when people, it's so cliche, but I'm gonna say it anyway, like, you finish my sentence. I know that is so cliche,
but you know what? It can be real. It can
but I'm
be
just saying,
like, I believe in this motherfucker. I believe in you. Motherfucker might as well start singing.
No, he's fine. He's fine.
This motherfucker Keith is a wonderful man. He's so fucking sensational.
I'm not, bro.
Keith is just wow.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, right?
G with it, bro.
I'm
just saying, like,
My stomach hurts. Stop.
Goals,
But
man.
I'm saying, but you know, talking about goals. But I'm saying, I've been in situations where
I wasn't even expecting that one.
Keys, bro. This shit getting out of hand, bro.
No, wait. Can I tell you something real quick? Wait. No, he's like,
It's like that scene.
I'm married, and I understand that.
Exactly.
So I have done that. I'm gonna do it now. So I have done
Finish
it.
my sentences.
I just know you.
It don't even be what I'm
Hey,
saying.
what they say,
You finish them.
Baby, do you want a bacon, egg, and cheese?
What I'm just saying, it's like,
I love it,
I
Keys.
just think some people take pride. I think when you meet a person and they take pride into getting to know you and getting the shit that you like, shit that you love,
Yeah.
shit like that, it's like, okay, I done found myself.
Gifts for no reason.
Or, I mean, also, it probably could be a point to where it's just like, you know what? Because I feel like, with me, I feel like I love hard, right? Like
We know.
So,
Like, over your head, like, hey.
shower without it getting emotional. Go ahead. Go ahead. Okay.
Leave him alone.
Okay.
but I'm just saying. I mean, I also feel like, yeah, you finish my sentences. It's the connection, mentally, physically, emotionally. I feel like those are standing. But why you laughing?
I'm sorry.
No, I think somebody can be in tune with who
I just
you
see
are.
like the lady in the trip when they was sharing the meatball and the spaghetti. They,
Man, bro.
you know,
I'm saying?
no, but for real though, like,
But
You
I'm
should
just-
write a book about
I'm just
this
saying
shit.
though, like
serious.
I've been in so many situations. But
so this is a perfect time to ask you. So do you believe you could have multiple soulmates?
Pretty much.
No.
I thought you, because you know you're a yes man sometimes, so you know. I'm fucking with you. You agree with everybody. Yeah, the women.
No, I'm just saying like I don't believe you.
Acorn.
I don't believe you can have more than one
like on the
soulmate.
Grinch.
Takes a little.
I don't believe you can. I don't believe you can. No.
So I mean, if you lose your soulmate, like what if the person that you love died? So you just lost your soulmate, and you're just gonna be alone for the rest of your life?
Yeah, I lost my soulmate, but that don't mean I'm gonna be alone.
You're gonna be second, so you go for second best then.
You literally gonna be with somebody like
hell no, Keith say you going for second best.
If the soulmate is gone, no,
kind of man
that's
he
not what I'm
is.
saying. No, I'm
Shit,
saying.
he want a motherfucker that's gonna finish that sentence with him. My hair when I ride with him,
I'm
right?
not going to. I know. I'm saying if God forbid I ever lose my soulmate, I'm just saying like.
God forbid,
I'm
this
not-
motherfucker
I'm
Keith
not-
is wonderful, man.
I'm not gonna sit up here and be like, oh no, I'm gonna look for another soulmate. I'm just gonna be on my Troy shit. We all got wants and needs, right?
What Tony Montana say? You need people like me.
In all honesty, though, no, I don't believe there's more than one soulmate. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
So
That's cute, man. It's cute. Everything you said was cute. It's cute, man.
Okay.
Like,
Well,
I'm
the
trying to
reason I
feel
was
like-
asking, I actually saw a movie. I saw a few movies when I was
Those
in
are
high
fairy
school.
tale shit.
And no,
I hate
because
fairy tales.
again, like you telling your perception is what your reality will be. So if you think that's how love goes, that's how you would think that's what love is. That's we all know that the movies are not always a great example
Yes.
of love. Yes, it is. But I was thinking about like, if you were to think that soulmates are real, and you only had one soulmate, and your soulmate died, like how devastating would that be for the rest of your life? To not be able to spend time with that person. Like how would you be able to complete yourself?
in the Titanic.
Jack Rose went on. She went on. Yes, she
Or
did.
do you compensate that by thinking, hey, you can have soulmates?
She told the nigga she'd never let go, and as soon as that motherfucking boat pulled up, she let the fuck go.
She let go
People
before
change,
that though.
nigga. They never
Everybody
stop.
was
That's how people change.
That's how.
Love and basketball did. At the end.
Like,
What about it?
Double or nothing.
Simple. Double or nothing.
I That's what's wrong with your ass.
Love Jones. I can keep going. I can keep doing this shit.
Thank you for choosing black examples because he keep thinking Cinderella and Prince Charming are the only people that fall in fucking love.
I never said.
I
just
like one and two.
That nigga like the Notebook.
I love the Notebook, guys. That's a great movie.
No, his favorite movie, love movies, Don't Be a Menace.
Shit like that too.
Yeah. Ratchet.
It's South Central.
Blade,
don't know.
Blade, shit like that.
No, but what was
Snakes on the Plane? I mean,
nah,
what shit was terrible. But okay.
Now, what was you saying?
no, what I was saying was that, that I think some people try to compensate that by saying that you probably can have multiple soulmates. Like, because people do change. Maybe your souls are connected for that duration of time, and then once it progress or let the other person to regress or vice versa, then you have the process of actually maybe leveling up and getting a better soul.
Speaking on people change, right? I feel like that's a great segue. I spoke on all my shit before we get to your segment, because I do feel like people are dating to expect people to change.
That's so dumb.
Is it?
Is
it, Troy?
Expect somebody
To some degree.
No, some real shit because I'm saying
is.
people because they're afraid to love. So they
Yeah.
expect them to change.
But you always
They expect them to change. They're afraid to love.
I don't think you should ever get with anybody thinking they're going to do something.
But have you ever been have y'all ever dated somebody, been with somebody where they haven't given their all because they're afraid that you're gonna change? They like, well, my last, I don't want to give her Reedisha because she changed on me last time. I ain't gonna.
You can't go into love with fear like that.
But people who do though.
But a lot of people do though, and that's
they're not ready for love as you think they are.
They're ready maybe for certain aspects of it, but maybe not for all of it.
I think I'm ready to ride a roller coaster all the time. Like, it's the top, like, what the fuck am I doing? This is not for me.
Get to the top.
And then I just back out of it. Like, I gotta go to the bathroom. I back out of it.
Anticipation.
You wanna, it's not for me. I always say I'm gonna die if I get on a roller coaster. So I just stay in my lane. But you have people that you gotta be aware of that. You might have to be aware, like, Troy knows what he can give, what he can't give in a relationship. In the current stage what it is right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So like,
I mean, I think, it's not so much of going into a relationship thinking that someone is going to change. I think that you gotta, I just have the understanding that the most constant thing in life is change. And you change. You might have
in a good way.
That it can be good way, it can be bad.
We evolve, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I think sometimes you outgrow people, sometimes you want certain things that a person can't provide, and stability, is attractive, and somebody might say, well, I want to live a little bit better than this. And, I just think that that's one of the most constant things, like change is constant.
Yeah.
So it's not that I go in saying that a motherfucker will change on me. I just understand that these are I'm willing to take that chance. I'm willing to take the chance, but I'm not gonna put myself to a point. I'm not gonna push myself to a point where if they leave me or if something happens, it affects me.
Well, that's kind of cold.
No, it's
cold nigga.
Right.
Just because.
If you leave me, I ain't gonna cry.
Because I just think that at some point we have to just deal with things how we deal with them.
Well, it's one thing to be prepared, but don't let that stop your experience.
But it's not stopping my
with that person.
Because I just feel like if it's gonna lead to something, it's gonna lead to something. If it's not,
you know how sometimes you can see that people mistake their past for warning signs sometimes. Because you can be so afraid that this person's gonna cause so much harm to you that you think it's a red flag. But really, you should chill the fuck out. They just may have done one simple thing that you remind you of something else, and that necessarily be
but
that
that's
thing.
where communication comes in.
And yeah, you have to be mature enough to communicate.
Shit.
Or you have people who recognize that shit's coming and be like, hey, this is why I don't love all the way, because of shit like that, and they're holding themselves back before even letting themselves get to a place and even be vulnerable to accept that I might be hurt.
But I'm good at like communicating and explaining what I don't like.
Effectively communicate or just communicate. That's different.
No, seriously, if somebody says if some shit happened and I nip that shit in the bud, like, you know, hey, I don't accept that. And if you want to be with me, then it's gonna have to be some changes.
Oh.
And that's just what it is.
All right, big dog. You a capital G, not lowercase G.
What if they don't want to change?
Fuck.
Of course.
Watch out.
What if they want you to change?
Try and change it for no goddamn
For
body.
me, bro,
That's a contradiction.
it's not a contradiction because
You
I
want
do
them to
what I
change.
want to do.
And why can't they do what they want to do?
They can do what they want to do. They just not
Not
gonna do it
with
with me.
Well, choice.
He got that do as I say, not as I do mentality that great grandmama had.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah.
how that's tough on
It's not
that.
Go ahead, Troy. Yeah.
But you never answered the question though. Do you believe in homo or something?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was actually explaining it, but we get so caught up in Troy's triumphs that we just have to. It doesn't even matter.
Why you have to go hard? You have to
get
go hard.
emotionally
You have hard.
involved
Don't worry
in
about
your
hard.
I didn't
decision
even
making.
speak on that. I just said,
No, I just get very
just said
emotionally
no.
involved in your decision making because I want you to be happy.
I'm happy.
You
I'm
smile
happy.
through the pain.
Huh?
Let's see.
I feel like you smile through the pain.
Very
You got a beautiful smile. You smile through the pain.
I'm very happy.
Okay.
I
but
just do things the way Troy do it.
In Troy,
And that's what it is.
I'm an empath. I can feel it even when you're not here.
Toast to the
Mary Jack, Jean Grey.
What?
I don't know what the fuck he was talking
Yeah,
about.
Said Jean Grey.
Y'all gotta do better at referencing
X-Men.
shit. You can't just reference stuff you watch. You gotta do stuff that generally everyone has seen.
Well, now that I
In
know you
order for
didn't
them
see
to
it, I ain't
work
gonna
the
reference it no
crowd.
more.
Read the room. Look like
the room.
I watched
Doing
that
like-
shit.
You got a poetic justice that I said Jean Grey. Y'all.
Right. No.
She like, who's the X-Men? I don't know that.
Right.
Funny as hell. Troy.
Man, y'all know what the fuck going on. We finna get into
Let's
Troy's
try.
point of view.
Go ahead.
Let Troy, whatever the fuck you want to call me,
LA.
just call me. So basically, I got a two-parter. One is well, I don't want to say this because it's not a woman or a man thing.
Yes, it is.
But no, it ain't. You know what I'm saying? If you're in a longer distance relationship, can you or are you willing to relocate? If you're
And why else would you be getting up with
say it again. What's that?
I'm sorry. I'm speaking
Oh.
out of turn. I was.
If your
I hate long distance relationships.
if
It's
your
dumbest shit in the
kids-
world.
I hate never do it.
hold on, everybody don't think like that.
That's true.
I get it.
Are
But if
you
you're
wi-
not gonna relocate or someone's not gonna move, why are you in a relationship?
Okay. Are you willing? But if some people don't think like that because some people
You're
don't
not.
want to leave their children and shit like that.
That's yeah.
And
If you decide that we're in a
basically my
relationship,
question. That's my
We
basic-
together, we're going to meet
if you
somewhere.
decide we're in a
between us.
relationship,
Would you expect for a man to leave
somebody
where his
gotta
kids
leave.
is?
Somebody
to
gotta
come be
leave.
with you?
Otherwise, we can't be together. We're not gonna be together. What? We're not gonna be together for years, and I live in Colorado.
But y'all
Your
can't.
ass
But
lives in
y'all
New York.
can't meet. Y'all can't meet in the middle.
We
Why would we move one to
You
the
mean
other?
You want me as us both move?
That makes no
Meet
sense.
in the middle.
Look, what?
I mean,
I don't give a fuck who moves. Somebody needs to move. Move together. One person move. Everybody move. But if nobody's moving, nobody's together. I just don't understand the concept of long-term relationship without a future plan where you're going to eventually be together in the same area, residing with each other. Because how do you grow old apart?
Let's see, what are you building together, or how are you building together? When you're so
What
separate.
the fuck are we building
I mean,
apart?
if you're not, yeah, I'm saying.
What
how you
are we
building
doing
together
for
if
each
you're not
other but
together?
emotional
it's
support
possible.
calls?
You just
It's
don't
ways.
believe in,
It's ways to
long
do it.
distance.
No, I think it's
She ain't
dumb.
fucking- I
Last
couldn't
month.
even get that shit out. She
I
not
think
fucking
it's so
good.
dumb.
At all.
I'm sorry.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, it's not gonna work.
It's one thing to be long distance for a period of time and then coming back together. Like people have spouses where they go off to go the war, or they might have to relocate for 6 to 7 months for a job, but eventually they're gonna come back to a meeting place where that's discussed of what we're going to do, move forward in the future. If you don't have that plan together, then why the fuck are you together? You wasting each other's time because the spaces you occupy when you don't have a future plan of what you want to do it's just at this point you just really talking on the phone, and you could be doing what the fuck you want to do in your own city.
But that's what they doing anyway. Not separate.
Some people really
Enough
take that
do.
long distance shit to heart and don't be doing nothing. That's
But God
dumb.
bless their hearts.
Look, if you in a long distance relationship,
Do you?
you better
Do
be
you?
fucking
Do
something.
Damn.
Do
Straight
I'm
like that.
sorry. If you
No.
that's if you don't have future plans to be together.
To build. That's the
If you
build.
don't have something where it's like, hey, in 6 months to 2 years, and that's a long time to strategize of what you want to do, I'm not trying to hear it.
But what if it's like an emotional connection, like where a person
I know you're not talking about
Hold on. I'm saying like with their kids, like
You let it go.
How you get emotional with some kids you ain't around?
no, I'm talking about with your kids. So say you like say your man got custody of your kids, right? And you with a person that's in another state, and would you be able to make that decision? And how do you?
You're gonna have to make that decision.
At the end of the
Because
day.
you chose to be in
How?
this relationship. How? You put on your big boy drawers. I don't fucking know. It's not my situation. But you're going to have to weigh your options. With what do I lose and what do I gain? You have to sit there and have that grown-ass conversation with yourself. But you don't drag another person along for that ride because you can't figure out what the fuck you want to do. Somebody has to step up and make a decision on where you're going to reside at. And it shouldn't be a tip of tap. Well, if I have to give something up, you have to give something up too. Because that's not how you get into relationships. You get into relationships because you want a betterment for everybody. Not if I take an L, you got to take an L. No, if I take this L, we need to win together after this L. It doesn't work like that. If you can't make up your mind on what you want to do, don't be in a relationship. You can fucking talk all the time and have conversations and not be in a relationship. Relationships about claiming someone, a title.
It depends on what kind of relationship you're trying to have with a person, though, too.
Well, if y'all talking about moving, that means you got to be kind of serious. Nobody talks about moving.
Some people do it and they go
you know
right
how
back
many
and they
people talked on
stop.
MySpace? Motherfuckers wasn't just moving. You just having conversations with people. That's just how it works. It's not about me sitting here trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with my life. And if I want to leave, you have to make those grown decisions. Otherwise, you're not in a relationship. You're not ready to.
I also think long distance too. It gives people I still can be connected to you emotionally, but I'm still not connected to you physically. So it's just like, yeah, we talk, we do this, but it's like I don't have to come home to you every day. So
exactly.
I'm
my
okay with
phone
that.
dead, bitch. You can't even contact me.
You can't contact.
Where were you?
It's my phone.
We don't got teleporters yet. You can't teleport your ass to a city.
Not at all.
It's my
Virtual
phone
hugs?
dead,
No.
bitch.
You can't even contact
You
me.
can like my picture.
Oh, baby, my phone died. Well,
I think it depends on the circumstances. I think it'll be a hard situation
Give us some context.
because hey, you got a smart ass mouth.
Yeah, we wanna know what's
he
going
wanna- See, that's the thing. Like
This is a podcast of context.
he always want me to just say, "Oh, it's me." No, motherfucker, that ain't what I'm saying. I'm just
I
asking
didn't
the
say
question.
that.
But no, I think that it depends on the situation.
Size 11 and a half.
I think it depends on the situation. I think that
She's like
if you got to deal with 2 baby mamas and shit like
Oh,
that,
wow.
and you just got a lot of extra shit going on, it'll be hard to leave your kids.
Oh, that's right. That's a choice you gotta make.
And that's not the woman for you.
Obviously.
Because you not willing to.
But why she can't meet in the middle?
Well, she...
Well, that's
Still
that's
your
Well,
kid.
you need to talk to your woman and ask her that, because I don't know why. Maybe she don't love
Is
you.
it the man or the woman moving?
Oh my god.
That she
Look,
look.
my why we can't
Let me
meet in the
tell
middle.
I done seen bitches drive 4 hours for one
Baby,
night
bye.
of a dick appointment. You mean
Yeah.
tell me bitch can't move to be with you permanently? She don't love you then. I'm just being honest.
I've seen it.
people
Yes, I have.
for 4
Yes,
hours.
they have.
Yeah.
For hours.
Yes. Over the
People right
end.
now that driving to Northern for one night.
He said,
Yes,
They
they do.
drive
They
to July.
do. They do.
They drive to Iowa for one night. Wisconsin
For one night.
for one night.
I've been in West. Never mind.
Okay, so you mean to tell me you can't make up your mind if you want to move it because you're not sure
About that
that's your
person.
soulmate?
You're not sure if you want
Like
to
I
make
brought
the
that
kind
back around. You're not sure that's your soulmate.
And this is a question I want. Can you be with a person if they got pregnant Keith,
Yeah, go ahead.
can you be with a woman if she's pregnant?
Right now?
Yeah, if she's pregnant.
Hey, by with your kid or
but
somebody
not
else's?
with by somebody
Oh,
else.
hell no.
No,
I'm sorry.
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
But it was a fucked up situation.
I ain't going.
Hold on, it was a fucked up situation that happened, and then you just had an instant connection with this person.
It's
daddy syndromes. The fuck.
Can you, Keith?
First of all, let me just say this.
Keith,
back it
can
up.
you,
Bunch
Keith?
of weird shit going on.
I'm asking you.
I know.
I'm
I'm
asking
so
you a
bad.
question.
I'm sorry.
You don't think you can ever do that?
Nah.
It's hard.
Wait a minute. So how pregnant is she? Is she like showing pregnant? Or like, oh, I'm sick. Like just getting to it, found out she was pregnant.
Showing pregnant.
Oh, no.
Oh,
no.
brother. You ain't seen Friday.
What? I'm just asking a question.
She ain't great. It's a Carl's Jr. burger. No, no.
We was sitting there rapping.
Yeah.
No, so she like pregnant.
I don't. That's not. I'm just a question.
No, I know. I just wanted
It
before I
ain't no
answer.
person. It ain't no
Before I answer
actual
things,
situation.
I'm
I'm asking, can you be with a man that got a baby on the way with somebody else?
I doubt it.
So you cannot.
It's but this.
Come on, man.
I'm
Let's
selfish.
keep it real, bro.
I'm a little selfish. I'm not saying I am. I don't think that kid should not have his father. I'm not against it. Just that I don't think he should have me. That's what I'm about. Not that he can
So
have
y'all
a kid.
ain't never
I've
dated
never,
a man
put this.
that had a baby on the way
First of all,
that
If
y'all
he
like.
did,
First
he didn't
of
know.
all,
He didn't let me know.
If you
He
first
was
of
that
all,
good.
some men
He
have
was so
will lie
tricky.
about that, but
They
let's say he
will.
just openly tells you, that's a red flag.
All day.
That's
What?
a red flag.
If
I'm
he
not gonna
openly
be with
tells
no
you?
man that
Oh,
can't
it's a
even,
woman.
can't even support the baby mama through a pregnancy. Like how I think he gonna treat me?
Oh no.
Oh, I'm just that special. Who
Wait,
fucking that naive?
Supporting like what you mean? Like so say for instance, right? He not with the
I'm blown because I've seen that before. But okay, go ahead.
Wait, you're saying
What?
you've seen a girl? Wait,
I've seen plenty of women choose a man even though he had a baby on the way.
that is the
That's a choice.
how often does that work in their favor?
Exactly.
I don't know, but I'm just
How
telling you.
often?
It doesn't sound
I'm
good
just
to
telling
That's
me.
why I had to ask you if the man was being truthful about if he had a child on the way or not.
Or was he
Because
really with the woman or she accidentally?
Because
got
sometimes
pregnant?
men say they not with their baby mama.
So what if
They
she
don't go home
accidentally
every
got
night.
pregnant?
No such thing as accidentally. It's an accident lie.
First of all, right.
Because
How
either
you
you
don't
put it
accidentally
in.
get pregnant.
You
Not
put
in
anything out.
2019. Niggas is definitely shooting up the clubs. You is not just accidentally getting pregnant.
Not at all.
Nah, I don't know.
Accidentally. Something
Something
happened.
else.
I'm not saying you can be
I ain't
under certain
deliberately shoot up the
influences.
club.
It may help.
You knew
Something.
first of all, you got up to 72 hours to get a Plan B pill. If you shot up the club, you had 72 hours to fix it.
That's true.
If that didn't work, I might give you a pass and say you slid on thin ice. But there's way too many in 2019 ways
Yes.
of contraception.
My pullout game was weak that day.
Oh.
Like this.
You already said your pullout game was weak, so
So-
No, I said mine was strong.
Oh.
I don't know about
No,
that. We
what's
have
up?
to confirm with you.
No, mine. No, mine.
Shit.
No,
She
mine.
came back with a vengeance
No,
today,
mine,
but go ahead, keep going.
No, mine's strong.
We'll ask
My
later.
son, my oldest son, 11. I'm about to have a newborn.
God bless your heart.
So
I
that's
quit.
strong.
That's no, it's not.
What? What's up?
At 11 years
You
apart.
probably was messing with a lot of chicks that wasn't ovulating at the time.
It was strong to me at the point that time. I was pulling out.
Y'all was upside down or something. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I'm gonna leave it alone. Shut up. But no, I don't know if there's. The women I know in my life personally wouldn't date a guy who had a baby on the way.
I know some women that would take that because they just want a man to be attached to.
Right. So
There are women like that. They just want to be attached to somebody for the moment, and then eventually they probably end up running away. Or you become a baby mama number 2, 4, or 5. Either way.
You have some people who sign up
Yes, they do.
for rosters.
Yes, they do.
You have
Sign
if
up.
they see how
Yes,
his fatherhood is very sexy
sexy as hell. Like, it's,
Oh,
bro, he's
definitely
like,
get you some ass.
a lot of guys it has.
You gotta meet some ass.
little
some ass.
emphasis on that, Keith.
I'm just saying. I'm
Saying it's possible.
Yeah,
It will
gotta be
definitely
pause.
get you some
Pause.
ass.
Is it got to be some fatherhood or you?
She said,
You
that's
dumb.
what she said.
Hey, you just
And he repeated after that.
That's
He
what
was
she
father
said.
definitely
He said
had-
some ass.
No.
That's what she said.
No, because I got him because I got you last week because I said you didn't specify.
Kulu. That's what she said. I'm telling you what she
No, I was
said.
just saying you got me last week because I didn't specify.
I was not. I was repeating what she said.
I got you. Go ahead. I'm
Tell
sorry.
me.
Well, I mean, I just
Listen.
I don't know what's going on now.
Well, I'm gonna just give my whole. I think that if you got a connection with somebody, anything is possible. I was with a woman before, and it you brought truth to that, and I'm gonna be real. I told her that I didn't. Well, at that time I was going through a lot with that situation, so I didn't know what was going on.
But you knew the situation was happening though.
Right, and I didn't want to say nothing before I knew what was it
But you
really,
knew what was going on.
was it really mine? I felt like I should have said something about it.
You could have.
I could have, but I just felt like at that point,
And
at
I
that
think
point,
that is so slimy.
And now
but
that
hold
part
on,
bites
hold on.
me.
Hold on, let me
dislike.
finish though, because at that time it was a situation where a person cheated on me. You know what I'm saying? And at that, the motherfucker dude looked just like me, G. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, this might not be my situation. So I'm like, fuck it, I ain't gonna just fuck this up. And you know what I'm saying? But I was young at the time. I didn't know no better, and that's what it was. You know, I'm just keeping it real. I'm keeping it a stack.
The blind lead, the blind.
On us, it was tethered.
Say it again?
Yo, tethered. You never seen us?
No, I've never seen this. No, never in life. But I you watch
Never
a lot,
live.
You gotta
watch a
read
lot
the
of other
room.
shit.
You gotta. You know he ain't seen us. Come on, you gotta read
Us?
the room.
What the fuck is us?
Don't worry about it. You go.
Phillips? Oh, I have seen us.
Right.
Yeah, I have.
Tethered.
But I didn't get the movie. Actually.
Exactly. You
I
gotta
didn't
read
get
the room.
Yeah, I didn't really get that shit like that. It was really
You
crazy.
really think he sat down like, oh, I get it. No.
At all.
Exactly. Go ahead. Go.
Because I wasn't paying attention.
I know.
Because I was too busy getting knobs slobbed in the deal.
See, I knew that.
Yeah.
but no, seriously, I think
We stepped right into that.
absolutely.
It's all sticky.
I mean, I don't care. I'm just getting some, you know. But look, I think that it's possible if you have a connection
If you
with the
lie.
person.
And if you
No.
lie, okay.
If a person is straight up with you about something and they came to you real and you have,
So if
you
a
have,
woman come to you, Troy, and she like, okay, I'm like 7 months. I really just fell on some hard times, you know. You.
Literally.
Shut up, man. We can't be serious. I'm trying to hit him with the what would you do if your son was at home crying out loud in the bedroom floor. I'm trying to hit him with one of those stories.
Yeah.
So she's 7 months just showing big, like big, right? And you like, damn, mama, you big? Like, yeah, I just, bro, my baby daddy 2 months ago. You know, I'm just having a hard time. You like to help, you know what I'm saying? You got a very kind heart. So she like, you know, what? She's just like, I'm going through some things. I had a rough childhood growing up. Relatable. And she come to you like, you know, sure, I'm really feeling you. Let's be together. Now you didn't know she was pregnant at first. She just,
and she's 7 months.
the way
you know, some people don't show. I just start showing
the
bad.
way-
I'm like 6 and a half.
The way you
months.
put it,
So it's true.
the way you put it was fucked up though.
Well, you know, I got
It
you the
happens.
fucked up version.
I think that it depends on the situation and how it was brought to me.
I just brought it to you.
That was
now
fucked.
answer
That situation. That's some ghetto Shaniqua type.
Why
shit.
the ghetto?
You know what I'm saying? But if a motherfucker,
Why not be ghetto? She's being
Hold on.
White people
Look.
fall in love. We just get on and get pregnant. I don't like this
Come
period.
on, man.
I
Why
don't
you
like
gotta
it.
turn? You just made a turn for the
Period
worse.
food.
No, you just the way you just put it was some ghetto Shaniqua shit.
I didn't name her Shaniqua. Her name Amy. No,
My baby daddy, all that
Amy
shit.
came to you with
No.
her child's father.
Listen. Listen, I never said. I'm just saying that's some ghetto Shaniqua shit. The way
so
she just
Amy
brought
can't
it.
get-
She said my baby daddy 2 months left me 2 months
All
ago.
right,
and
let's say the
I'm
father
falling
might
on
change.
hard
The same amount of
times.
people, black people
Come
and
on,
white people
man.
are boring.
I mean, I guess the way she explained it to me. but
Okay,
she's
some
looking for something
trailer
else.
park Amy shit. How
Oh,
about
now
that?
she had to
Okay.
be trailer
You know.
park. Rich white girl get pregnant.
All day.
She always doing this to me. Look, I can't stand her sometimes. That's my mood. But look, I think that it depends on how it's brought to you. Now, if it's brought to you real and in the dope, like look, like if a situation was brought to me like this, I'm gonna give you straight up.
So this is how they can get
this. If a motherfucker come to me
like this,
and I'm if I because this is the thing, if I show interest towards them. Right. And I didn't know, and it was just like say like a Facebook or Twitter thing.
She didn't know,
right? She came to me, and she
told
said, she came to me and said, "Look, I'm
2
pregnant."
months later.
Hold on, no. She right after when I got in her inbox, and I said, "Hey, I'm digging you," and she came straight told me. She gave me a number, get on the phone with her. She straight come to me and said, "Hey, I'm pregnant." You know what I'm saying? Then she explained to me, "Look, I had a wild night out. I had just got out of a relationship." And I had a wild night with this guy that was in a relationship or a relationship where he was separated. And then now it's to a point where I have to, this motherfucker don't want to be involved at all. You know.
Very specific.
No, I'm being real. I'm finna give you the whole layout. And then I'm not saying this is something that I experienced.
It is very specific.
No, I'm just saying. And the motherfucker go.
With an egg.
No. Look. And the motherfucker just straight be honest with you and say, "Look, I'm pregnant, but you feeling this person." Mm-hmm. I would personally say, okay, I can give it a shot because a motherfucker came at me real. A motherfucker told me actually what happened. That is a believable story, and you actually see the shit in play. You actually see what's going on.
Actually giving a pregnant female a shot
and believing the story.
Well, cause I gotta see the shit for myself. I gotta see what's going on with this.
So how long you got to see? Cause it's only 9 months in the pregnancy,
and she's already been with you for.
But hold on. But what if I seen something already that made me go, okay, she ain't lying?
Then that could be.
Hey, the fact that you are connected to a pregnant woman lets me further know.
Yes, tell him. Go ahead.
That you are.
I never said. I'm just asking the question.
That I can't be.
I'm asking the question.
Further know you got a heart, nigga. You got a heart, bro.
Leave lying alone.
You go from
the 10 man over there.
Now you go from. Damn.
Right, girl. Right, baby. I got some pimples and some.
Yeah.
Got some white. I got Infidel.
I said this.
I said this.
You talk about me.
I said this.
Right.
I said this.
You taking those?
I said this in the beginning. If I have a strong connection with somebody,
yeah, I
fuck with them. And if a motherfucker real with me, I fuck with you.
But I feel like it's some vulnerability in there that you try to tell us that you don't have that is there.
No,
that's the Troy we want
that's
to know.
not. No, you would never.
That's
get,
the Troy we need
You would
to know.
never get that.
First of all, I ain't never been attracted to a pregnant woman. I'm just sorry.
She not showing though.
You from the back.
Listen,
turn around to the front.
I mean, look, everybody's
nigga to do
everybody's
shit like
different. Everybody's different. But
you talk about me.
But what I'm saying is, if you have a strong connection with somebody,
this nigga talk about me.
Listen, if you have a strong, and it's like a motherfucker that you like, damn, this shit like this motherfucker might work with me. She get me.
It's because she's pregnant. She's just feeling right now.
She get me. No, nigga, she's getting you.
This is my soulmate.
No swing don't go off into no soulmate.
Right.
Then you alright.
Your soulmate is pregnant. On this episode, my soulmate is 6 months pregnant.
Fuck with you because ain't no nigga there right now. So
at all.
You a affiliate.
Right. Oh.
That was that.
Touché.
You a affiliate, is it?
I think we both know I ain't no feeling.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no, bro.
Beep beep.
Hey.
Right in.
Don't I got you. Fat head motherfucker. But that's enough on Troy's point of view. They always give me a hard time, and I'm gonna let that be.
I ain't never been attracted to a pregnant woman, bro. I'm just that's a
She is just a one with the child.
That's it.
That's it.
Y'all
had me born, didn't y'all?
I understand.
But I wouldn't want my mama dating somebody else while I'm in there.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You
would never know.
And
you would never know.
If you listen to this podcast, you know how Troy is. This nigga like to do the nasty. You not this nigga doing that shit.
Troy, you know what? Maybe no.
And that ain't your child.
No.
Sticking a baby in the head. Come on, your baby gonna look just like me, girl.
I'll put makeup on.
Y'all just made this shit
You going
totally fucked up, bro. Like I
hit little Bill in the head and shit.
Right.
but you know what?
Baby come
I'm
out
glad we
frowning
had
at
this
Trey. You
conversation.
look real familiar.
Because I see how crazy that the motherfucker, bro. Y'all some nut ass motherfucker. Y'all just took that and just bulldozed that shit into a whole
That's what
nother
you did when you went to
situation.
the woman.
You the one that got
Bulldozer.
real specific with
You
this
got
example.
real.
Now she drives a great car.
Her name ends with E, not A.
I ain't long as I ain't say no names or giving up no other
You
information.
damn not. Only thing you never give us is names.
All I said, I gave you
everything
a specific situation.
Specific situation.
That's all.
with
Okay.
specific people who, would, if they listen to this, they know
know.
what I'm talking about.
What's the connection though? I'm curious. Like how connected could you be to another man, a pregnant woman? I'm just like not on some. I'm just talking.
That's a soulmate.
On an intimate level though.
I think that it depends on how you're connected with that person. Now, if like with me, you gotta get me. Like for a person to be like, I don't got too many friends, man.
But you,
Everybody,
but
hold on.
Women are already
Let
in
me
a more
finish it.
emotional state when they're pregnant. So she's like, oh,
let me finish.
and then she gonna change up on your ass soon as you drop that
Hey, switch aside, they some pie niggas. Oh,
Then enjoy for them.
But we-
damn
but-
baby.
babysitting.
but we never know.
Enjoy.
But we
I
never
love
know.
you so much.
But-
Watch this baby.
But we never know. We
I'll
never
be
know.
back.
But for me, like I don't got too many friends. I'm not. Everybody don't get me.
Aw.
So when a person get me, I fuck with
When
it.
the pregnant woman gets you.
It don't matter to me. I don't care. Especially if a person
You
brings
gotta have
something.
standards. I'm saying
Especially. Hold on. If
The
a
mouth
person.
is the standard.
No,
Oh,
listen.
okay.
Absolutely. Keep that in mind.
I won't
If
forget it.
if a person get me, bro, I fuck with him, bro. Like I said, I don't got too many friends, and I hit it off with saying that's my man. I ain't trust him at first. I wouldn't let him out. Fuck out.
If you want to build a snowman, call Troy.
But I give people the benefit of a doubt. That's how I am, and that's how I am. I'll always be. Because somebody did it for me. Somebody did it for me, even though I was dishonest about some shit.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Even though I was dishonest about some shit, motherfucker still said, okay, I fuck with you,
They
I'm
took
gonna
a
give it
chance
out.
on
They
you.
took a chance on
Oh, they got a
me.
great
And
heart.
sometimes you gotta take a chance on people.
That was beautiful, Troy.
That's
They
all.
got a great heart.
And you talk about me?
Oh, beautiful, Troy.
Hey, if it don't, but I ain't gonna be all in
Take
my
a chance
feelings if
on
it
love.
don't work.
You take a chance on
He said they took a
pregnant
chance
women.
on him. Now he took a chance on them. They took a chance on him. Not what
I'll
he
take a
did.
chance on them. Pregnant or not.
Well, you know what they say about pregnant vagina, so
You can't get it pregnant twice.
that too. But
Oh, my bad.
That just goes to show that's even more fucked up.
She came with it. She said you can't get it pregnant twice. She was that motherfucker.
you
cup
can't
almost
get double
gone.
pregnant.
She said, damn.
Yo,
You
that's
can't
some,
get double pregnant, girl. I know I'm not the daddy.
that's some
Nope,
wild
not at all.
shit,
You
man.
can't. They
But
say.
I'm different, man. I'm different.
All right, 2 Chainz.
You are different,
I'm
bro.
different.
In what? In a nut way, though.
That's fine. But however you want to call it.
It's
Just
like
call
he
it.
like a special case. Like, you know, like when it's time to get judged, they gonna be like, hold on, pull out the special case book.
And he talk about me all the time.
Okay though.
Hey, man,
He has a heart.
I just believe
Yeah,
you
you
give
do
people
got
It's
the
in
benefit
there.
of the
I
doubt.
mean, every lion has a heart.
You give people the benefit of a doubt, especially if
It
they
cannot
give it to you.
everybody.
Not everybody.
Not everybody.
But if you get if a motherfucker bring it to you raw like real, I fuck with it. I see what's to it.
Okay.
But if it's some bullshit to it, I'm gonna move around.
And that's on La Troy.
Well,
Said he
Let's
not
say it again.
stand stuck.
La Troy.
this nigga.
Keith's gonna go. Go ahead, man. Go
No, I'm not
take it.
doing that, bro.
Not about that life. No.
You're not gonna get me to do that. Deisha, I appreciate you coming through. It was
Thank
a
you
pleasure,
guys
Queen.
for inviting me.
Is that fun?
For sure. I did.
Yeah, this is a podcast, so we definitely speak and live our truth, as you can see.
All day.
Love you guys.
Thank y'all.
We're 3 musketeers full of flaws. And we
Human.
We're human, yeah.
Human.
And today I just learned some shit. It's crazy that I learn shit every time this podcast. I just learned.
What did you learn?
Troy is a fucking.
Troy. He has a heart.
Troy.
He has a heart. It's fluffy.
Because it's just so fun. I'm sorry, before we get out of there, this is just so funny. These niggas talking about me all the time, bro. This nigga just sit up here and said,
I got a heart.
I'm pregnant women, I fuck you.
I'm gonna buy her groceries. I'm gonna take her to the store.
He said, nah, single bitch. I don't know. Pregnant bitch. I fuck with it. I throw a little lemon pepper on it.
Soulmate, but I see a pregnant woman.
Right. I throw a little lemon pepper on it.
Yeah.
Hey, but if I put like, if she fuck with me, I fuck with her.
Okay.
And that's what it is.
And
Call it what you want, just call it.
just call it LaTroy.
Well, like I said, Reedisha, I appreciate
Big
you
dog.
coming through, Queen.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. We had fun, man.
Have fun with you guys.
You're always
Thank
welcome
you
to come
so
back
much.
and chill with us and
Right.
talk your shit.
Yeah, I had a great time with you. Like, you dope as shit, yo.
LaTroy.
And I'm not seriously, you cool as fuck. Like, you got a whole aura about you. I like that. That's dope.
Wow, bro.
Everybody.
He means leave him alone.
Queen.
He has a heart.
Yes.
Hi!
What? What?
He went
Lion
back with
King,
it. Lion
man.
King, yes.
Baba D, baba. You a fucking nut, bro. Seriously.
Nah, Queen is back though. We appreciate her. You know, nah, for real. In all seriousness, the Queen is back, man. We definitely miss you.
And welcome back.
Right.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Y'all better stay tuned for our Christmas special.
Christmas special. What's
Ooh,
this
y'all
shit?
gonna have eggnog?
Nah,
y'all just
we're
send me
not
some.
gonna
White
have
eggnog.
Oh.
Get a little rum in it. A little rum chummy chum, a little rum chata.
Troy, man, take us out, bro.
Hey, man, y'all already know what the fuck going on. It's the Food for Thought podcast, man. Subscribe us on YouTube, Facebook, wherever we are. Instagram, Snapchat, all that shit. And tune the fuck in because y'all know we talking that shit. We having a lot of fun. We drinking wine. We taking edibles, all kind of shit. Now, we might get written up at work. We get going on whatever the fuck that is. But the Queen is back. Marquis is here. Y'all already know who the fuck I am. And we got the beautiful Reedisha in here.
Hey,
Did I say your name right?
Yes.
And we'll be back next week with some more hot shit. Keep it live, man.
Reedisha, before we get out of there, give me your handles where they can reach you at.
She ain't got no social media.
First of all.
She got 12 followers.
Well, because I just put this. I am selective in who I mess with.
Okay.
I mess with a lot, but I don't mess with everybody.
You might get some. Are you single?
No, she been married
she
for
married.
30 years.
I'm about to say after this you might get some DMs.
I've been married
That's why she
since
don't get out.
2005.
That's why she don't even have no social media. She married. She can't even respond.
Oh yeah.
Follow me. Follow
Yeah, follow us.
Food for Thought podcast.
Yes.
Follow me.
Guess what? I'll still be here, guys.
Follow us.
All
That's
right.
it.
Well, I appreciate y'all. Until next time, love.
Love.